Guys, welcome back to Caribbean J03. Welcome back to my channel. Today my sister will be doing her shelf stable spice curry pickled eggs. Wow, that's a mouthful. So let's go into the kitchen with her. Alrighty y'all, so I am going to be making the spiced curry eggs today, the shelf stable spiced curry eggs. So I have boiled 18 eggs in this pot and another 18 in that pot. So I'm about to take these out and put them in the cold water because I just turned off the stove, and then we'll take those out and cool those down as well. And then I also have 15 more eggs in here. Usually those large 128 ounce jars take about maybe 36 eggs. But normally you will have some that will crack when they're cooking because they're supposed to cook for 7 minutes. Don't ever stick your hand in a hot pot of hot water. And I have one right here, as you can see, that cracked during the boiling process, and I'm not quite sure if any of those other ones in there cracked as well. But you may lose some during the processing part of this, so try to always make sure you cook extra eggs. This one is just coming up to temp right now, so as soon as that starts boiling I will time it for 7 minutes, and then I will take it out and put it in cold water, or run it under cold water until they cool down. So I'm going to start taking these ones out and putting them in the cold water. Alrighty y'all, so today I'm going to be doing the spiced curry eggs, the shelf stable spiced curry eggs. So you saw the ingredients before, and I also had a short video in there just now to show you how many eggs we're doing. Right now I have about 50 eggs in here. I'm not sure they will all fit in my big bottle because I'm using the 128 ounce jar, and not sure how many eggs. It's usually about 30 eggs I would put in there with all my other accoutrements that I need to put in there. But anyways, we're gonna get started. These eggs were boiled for 7 minutes and then put in an ice bath and cool down, and then peeled, and they peeled much easily under running cold water. So let's get started. I am going to first toast my curry powder. So I'm putting my curry powder into my pot here, and I'm going to toast that, as well as the turmeric. I'm putting that in here as well, and the allspice berries. So I'm putting the allspice berries in my pot as well, and I'm going to toast those for probably about maybe 2 to 3 minutes, or until you start smelling them. So basically until they're fragrant. Okay, so I have everything in my pot, and I'm going to go and put them back on the stove and toast them, and then I will see you in a sec. Okay y'all, so I am smelling my spices here. So I think they're good and ready at this point. So let's get started. I will let this cool down for a quick second, but they're all going to go right into the pot that we're about to start with the brining solution. Okay guys, so my gallon size jar, glass jar, is currently sitting in the sink with filled with hot tap water. I washed it with hot soapy water and the cover as well. And now we're going to start on the brine that's going to be going into the jar. So first things first, I have already, as you saw before, I've already toasted my spices. I am going to now put in the vinegar, bay leaf, sugar, thyme, until they all dissolve. So I have two types of vinegar here. So I have white distilled vinegar, and I'm going to put in about 3 cups of that. So I need to measure 1 more cup of that because my measuring cup is a 2-cup measuring cup. So I'll put in 1 more cup of that, and then I also have 2 cups of cider vinegar, and that also requires 1 more cup. So I will be putting 1 more cup of cider vinegar in there. Okay, so I have added the additional 1 cup of cider vinegar, as well as the additional 1 cup of regular distilled white vinegar. And to that I am going to add my sugar. There is the sugar, salt, and this is kosher salt. Oops, sorry, I just sort of moved you around a bit there. I'm also going to add the thyme, and I'm using dried thyme because I don't have the fresh thyme. And then I'm also going to add 3 bay leaves, but remember, I am tripling the recipe. So I'm going to turn the heat up to medium and let this come to a boil, and then basically simmer it for 5 minutes after it comes to a boil, just enough to dissolve the salt and the sugar. And you're supposed to use a non-reactive or non-corrosive pot to be able to do this. And this is a stainless steel pot that I usually use for my brines, so this is fine. We're going to get into the rest of it in a few minutes, as soon as this comes up to a boil, and let it simmer for 5 minutes or so. Alrighty, y'all, I do believe my oh geez, oh Lord, that smells so incredibly good. So this has come up to a boil, as you can see. Sorry for fogging you out as usual. I'm beginning to think that's my MO. So I will turn this down to a simmer. Hopefully it's going to go down to a simmer. Looks like it's going down to a simmer. Not really, it's still boiling. As I was stirring just now, I could see that the salt, I can't feel any salt or sugar in there. Alrighty guys, so my 5-minute time is up. So I am going to empty my jar. Okay, so the jar is empty. There it is. And I am now going to let this continue to simmer a bit, just to keep the liquid hot. But I'm going to continue to now pack my jar. So I am going to layer in the eggs, onions, carrots, jalapeno peppers, and garlic, smashed garlic, in layers, and then add a little bit of the seasonings, the this seasoning as I go along. And I'm going to try to divide it into 3, like thirds, because like I said, I am tripling the recipe. And then at the end I will just add some lime juice and then pour in the grinding liquid from here. So let's get started with that. I'm going to first put in some carrots into the jar. So I'll just try to divide this in thirds the best way I know how. So I'll just literally just rub them in the windy. So I cut my carrots into rounds so that they don't cause any issues with my eggs, because in this large jar it's really easy to do that. In the smaller jars you can control it because you can move your vegetables around. Plus this is fresh. If you were using dried vegetables, then you want to put that into your brine before you start cooking it, so that it would be getting all of the lovely brine into it to bring it back a little softer. Alright, I think that's enough carrots. Now I'm going to add some white onions, and this is about a third, because I have another container of onions. So I'll put about a third of the onions. So I'll try to get them in there as best I can, as you can see, because I am working over this pot that's in front of me. Alright, so I got all that onion in there. Oh, I saw one that fell. Hold on a second, need to reach for that one. Okay, and then now I'm going to add some red onions. And then on top of the red onions, I'm going to add some jalapeno peppers, and then a little bit of my seasoning, of my toasted seasoning. Oh, I saw I dropped another red. Got that little bugger. Alright, there goes some jalapeno. And because I'm using jalapeno with the seeds, you don't have to put leave the seeds in. You can cut it out or remove the seeds. I won't be using any black peppercorns. So now I'm going to put in my smashed garlic. And again, the recipe and ingredients that my sister is going to leave for you in the description somewhere in there is going to be for one set of the pickled eggs. This jar is a little warm, but I'm going to bring it closer and jig it so you can see. So there you go. So this is what it looks like for one layer. And then I'm going to put the eggs on top of this. So I'll put about 10 eggs on top of this. Okay, so here goes my eggs. And don't pack them in completely. Do not pack them in. Please don't pack them in, because then you can end up breaking the eggs, and you don't want to break the eggs because you need your eggs to be whole, like this. Just keep them whole as best you can. If the eggs break when you're putting them in, or even before you put them in, then don't use those eggs, because it will make your pickled eggs get cloudy. And if something happens, like let's say something happens and your pickled eggs, sorry, I forgot my count, 4, 5, 6, 7, and your pickled eggs get spoiled or something for some reason, then you want to be able to see that, and one of the main things you will see there is cloudiness. So if your eggs is broken, you don't want to put it in there, because you won't know if something goes wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10. I got enough eggs. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh yeah, I got enough eggs. I'm gonna do probably 2 more in this layer. And be very careful, these little buggers are slippery. So I did 13 eggs in that layer. And then I need to put a little bit of the toasted seasoning in there. So give me 1 quick second. Okay, so I have about 15 berries, allspice berries in here. And just know that, remember, I am tripling the recipe, so you only need about 5. Okay. So, now I'm going to continue to do the rest of the layering of the eggs and the vegetables. And then, just as I'm ready to pour in the brine, I will bring you back. Alrighty guys, so as you can see in my little jar here, I call it little. I'm going to try to bring it closer for you. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so this is what the jar looks like once it's completely layered. And I'm going to put that down because yes, it's heavy. And I ended up using 13 eggs on the bottom, the first layer. The second layer was 9, and then the third layer was 7. So the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to pour some, can you see me? Some lime juice, lemon juice, whatever kind of juice you have, either lime or lemon. And I am going to warm it up a little bit in the microwave, and then I will pour it in there. Alrighty guys, so I took the bay leaves out of the brine. And we can discard that. It has done its duty. And I'm going to start pouring in the brine. And then I'm going to do the brine first because I think it will warm up the eggs for the... There we are. So, as you can see, I still have some thyme left in there. But I also still have brine in my pot. So I'm going to swirl that up a little bit. Oh, hold on. One may not want to swirl, so let me turn this off while I can. Okay, so just going to mix that up. I'm not worried about having most of the thyme at the top of the jar. Because as you mix or stir, not stir, as you shake the jar, the thyme will go to the bottom or throughout the... I'm going to move this because I don't want it to sit on the hot stove. Oops, look at the mess I made. Look at that. There's onion. Oh my. Okay, so now I'm going to bring this a little closer. I'm not going to put it on the stove because the stove is hot. Oh, there's a carrot over there too. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, but I think you can see my... Hold on. I think you can see my jar better if I move it up here, I think. Probably not a smart idea, but it's tilting. No. Let's put it back where it was. Just bring it a little closer, I think. Yeah. Oh, yes. Much better. Okay. So, I usually pour in my lemon juice. Oop, where's my mixer? So, I warmed up my lemon juice a little bit, just so I don't mess with the... Oh, this is gonna be beautiful, y'all. Absolutely beautiful. So I poured my lemon juice. Make sure I get all of that in there first. And then now I'm gonna fill the rest of this with my brining liquid here until it covers the eggs. And there we go. It actually covered the eggs the entire way. So now I'm just going to, so I'll cover it up a little bit so that I can shake it up and not cause a huge mess. But I shouldn't cover that just yet. Let me just get the vinegar first and cover it so I don't mess up my cover, because I've already cleaned my cover and washed it. So let me get some vinegar, and I am going to just clean off the out of that jar. Okay, so I'm going to clean off the mouth of my jar here, and I'm not going to debubble this because I'm not sticking anything in there because I don't want to poke those eggs. Okay, but as you can see, some bubbles are coming up, right? Look at that. Some bubbles are coming up. Alright, so I'm going to put this on here. Now, if your eggs starts floating, you can just get a snack size bag with water, seal it properly. Oh yeah, that's a heavy one. Alright, there we go. So that's what you want to do to be able to shake it up. And some of my eggs are already floating on the top of the water. So we're going to put them back down. Because as you can see on the bottom here, I have a, oops, sorry. You can see I have a lot of space down there. So I am going to get my snack size bag and put it on top of the eggs so that it can push those down for me. And keep the eggs under the water. You always want to make sure the eggs are under the liquid. So we're going to do that, and I'll bring you back in a quick second. Alright guys, so let me just quickly open this. And as you can see, my eggs are on the top. So now I'm going to just put my snack size bag of liquid right in there and get those eggs down on the bottom. Okay, they're under the water. I can definitely tell that. But as you can see, this is a little too much water in this. So I will take that back out and just pour out a little bit, just a smidge of that water. And this is warm water that's in here, by the way, so that again, we do not try to reduce the temperature of the liquid that's in there already. Alright, so let's get this down to get those two eggs under the water. Alright, we're pretty close to the top there. Oh Lord, get in there. There we go. Okay, we can push the eggs down. Then close our jar back. Get that down. There we go. And again, oh Lord, that is heavy, y'all. So here we go. All the eggs are under the liquid, and then as those eggs continue to absorb, as you can see all the way in the bottom if you can, all down here has space that the eggs are going to eventually get down there. Go all the way down. Plus, as the vegetables soak in some of the liquid and crisp up, the liquid will also, you'll see the liquid go down, but as long as the eggs remain under the liquid, they should be fine. At this time, you're going to let the pickled eggs sit out on the counter until it comes to room temperature. And once it comes to room temperature, then you need to refrigerate it, and you will refrigerate it for at least 2 weeks. because as you saw, this was 100% vinegar. So once you're done and it refrigerates for the 2 weeks, and during that 2 weeks you want to be able to turn it at least once a day. So you want to be able to pick it up and do this. Okay, see, look at the bottom there. You see how most of the stuff is on the bottom? So you want to be able to get them flowing. So you do that at least once a day. So normally what I do is when I'm pickling my eggs for shelf stability, I will do that when I go in there and get my my creamer for my coffee in the morning. As soon as I pick up my creamer and pour it into my coffee and then put it in the microwave if I have to warm it up a little bit, then the next thing I do is get my jar of pickled eggs and then do my maybe 2-3 turns and then put it back, and by that time my coffee is ready in the microwave and I'm good to go. But then you do that for 2 weeks. Once you're doing that for 2 weeks, your jar is completely sealed and your eggs are below the liquid, you should be just fine to put it on the shelf, because again it will be considered pickled. But if you see any of your eggs in there that's broken, you want to make sure you either open it up, drain out all the liquid, take out that egg, and then you're going to start the process all over again in terms of not the whole thing, but you will drain out that liquid, remove that one egg, make sure everything stays nice and sterile if you possibly can. So make sure you wash everything and sterilize everything before you take the eggs and put them in there, just to get that whatever egg may have been broken or cracked or whatever in there. And then you want to take all that liquid out, and you want to make sure that if it didn't make it cloudy, then you can reheat that brine and put it back in there. However, if the brine is cloudy, you will need to make fresh brine and pour it back in there and start your process over again. So, it's really important for you to be able to monitor that. So every day when you're taking it out to shake it, you take a look at it, turn it around, turn it upside down, and then you should be good to go after 2 weeks. So if you try this recipe, please let us know. And if you make any changes, or if you've done it before, please feel free to share. I absolutely love to try other people's recipes. So thanks for watching, and I'm quite sure my sister will be posting the recipe in the description or wherever she puts it. All right, enjoy.